Yo, what up, what up, what up? Just doing a quick audio check, making sure the mic is straight, making sure my sound is good. You get a little bit of little feedback. Let me know how the sound is. All right, sounds good. Excellent. Let's get the instrumental going. Yeah. We got 38 viewers in the live. Oh, man. I get 5 mics. I do own 2 mics, actually, but 5 mics on a rating, yeah. Let's see what we got here tonight. See who's here already. Lurking, really? I'm gonna just turn down the music a smidge. Alright, we got some peeps up in the house. I see a bunch of people already starting to pile in. We got 40 in the live. Appreciate you guys for stopping by this evening. I see Baby Yoda. MS. The homie Maverick is here. He loves him some Sprint. We know that's right. Alright. Let's see. I got Kimberly, Ian, Adam. Good to see you both. My brother Jose. My brother Barry. Good to see you guys as well. Troy, Caleb, Shan, Jamie, Mike, Joey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. David, Mark, appreciate you guys. My daily side is here. Chucky is here. What's up, Big Chuck? Bruce is here. Appreciate you for stopping in. Kazi, good to see you. Joeseph in the house. We got Josh Dub. Hey, Having Fun is here. Oh, my brother Ciova, peace. Let's talk tech, Alejandro. Absolutely. Maverick loves TNX. Nice. Yeah, man, we're about 5 minutes in. Maybe it's time. Maybe we should just go ahead and start in. Get this thing going. Dang, no business today, Adam? Hopefully somebody comes in and transfers 10 lines from Verizon and AT&T over to T-Mobile for you, man. You get a nice commission. All right, my good people. The AT&T calls, so I didn't actually get a chance to watch or listen. I just had to get the overview at the end. So I wish I did. It would have been fun to kind of watch it in real time. All bill pays tonight. Yeah, not much in there, you know. What are you going to do? Some nights it'd be like that. All right, let's go ahead and kill the music and get the camera going. Okay. Let's get this camera going. What up, y'all? It's the SMT March 12th, 2021. Man, I can't believe it's already like mid-March. It is crazy. What's up, Ranger? Good to see you. Mad about the files pricing. Hopefully some new fiber options come to you, man. What else are you going to do? It's a good product, though, from what I hear. Hey, Robert. How are you, buddy? James, yeah. Hey, AT&T Investor Day. AT&T Analyst Day. It's in my estimation that, big money is always on AT&T. And by big money, I mean banks, investors, MoffettNathanson, or, Craig Moffett and them. The big banks are big in on AT&T. They watch their stocks. They own a lot of stocks. What should their expectations be? Sometimes they want to know what the business plans are quarter to quarter, but then also the plan for the year, which is why I think this was a big deal for AT&T. AT&T is the oldest operator of mobile networks, dating back to the late 1800s with Alexander Graham Bell and the American Telegram and Telephone Company. Been around a long time. And that's old money, and they pay dividends. And they're valuable, and they have a ton of assets, and they have a ton of debt. No denying it. That's the one thing that I think that separates carriers is from a financial standpoint, how far are they willing to go into debt in order to continue to compete? And, as long as they're willing to compete in business for customers and in building out the network and performing to the needs of the customers, I feel like all the carriers are able to do that. I have a SIM card with AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and all three networks have very good capacity in this market. I expect it to get even better as more and more spectrum assets are deployed and the networks continue to improve and tower density improves and they get upgraded. It's, in my opinion, there's a couple of things that I think need to be corrected in wireless. Obviously, I think we need more capacity to future-proof networking. And I also think that we need more real unlimited plans. Meaning, you guys know how T-Mobile did that Magenta Max? We need more of that across the board. We need more Magenta Max type plans at Verizon and AT&T. Now, in my estimation, I think AT&T does a really good job of not really restricting anything on their more premium offers. But Verizon could use that, So, yeah, I think there needs to be some correction there. Hey, Victor. Good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well in your world. Ooh, we're doing chamomile tea, man. So good. Yesterday it was the ginger and lemon. Today it's the chamomile. All right. So I want to give you guys an overview of the AT&T Investor Day and Analyst Day. They gave a financial outlook. They gave some insight on the strategy. They talked about 5G and wireless. They talked about fixed wireless access, home internet through wireless. Christopher, Delon, good to see you guys. They talked about TV, HBO Max. They spoke about fiber. A lot of the key elements about what they do with their business were highlighted topics today. So I have that all for you. I'm going to offer a list of things that they sequenced and items that they addressed, some of the questions that were asked, and some of the insight and answers that were given. And then, of course, no SMT podcast would be complete without some of my takes on it. When you guys watch content on my channel, when I do the speed testing, I just want to show you the speeds. I just want to show you the capacity, the performance, the reliability, the connectivity. I want to show you what the networks are doing in the CLE. If you don't have these things available to you, what may be coming your way. But on the podcast and on the videos where I discuss networking, you get the facts, and then you get my opinion. I try to allow the facts to guide my opinion. Sometimes I offer predictions. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I offer predictions. Sometimes I'm wrong. And I don't need to be right all the time. Nobody needs to be right all the time. I just try to play, my predictions. I try to play it out in my head. What's the most likely outcome? So I'm going to use that same principle in my takes on AT&T today. The fiber, Josh, is an excellent product. So, yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see it get an accelerated build, but I'll take it for now. Honestly, it's a good product. A lot of people really like it. It is coming to my area, which I'm super excited about. James, I do my best. What are you gonna do, man? I try to be objective. I try to think about all factors that go into it. Victor, I'm not surprised. Anywhere where T-Mobile's upgrading the network with N41, we're seeing incredible speeds. No surprises. I've been seeing the upgrades here. I could definitely see how you could say that they could be king in your market. How they're scaling their upgrades it's kind of the X factor. So I'm not surprised. And Victor, if you don't mind sharing, which market is it? Just so I can kind of have an idea. Because it really depends. Market dependent. I am N41, man. That's right. David, I've really become mid-band man or Mr. Mid-band or Mr. Millimeter Wave because we're getting mid-band upgrades in LTE too, and it's incredible. Like I'm testing the CBRS from Verizon, and I'm getting 700 megabits per second easy. Like it's no fluke. Every other test is 700 megabits, which N41 is also doing that. Incredible times, man. We're actually seeing some capacity improvements to the networks. I'm very happy about it. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll see more of that in more places, and people can take advantage of that. Michael Pepper Tech, appreciate you for stopping by, bud. He said the T-Mobile live stream was confusing. It was all about money, and it was like listening to a car salesman or politician talking in circles and avoiding what people really wanted to know. So, Mike, I think you're onto something. Those meetings, those analyst days and investor days, it's for the banks. It's for bankers and investors. That's why, I think your takeaway is that way. What we want to know as consumers is sprinkled in there. The meat and the gravy of those presentations, it's really about investors. They're trying to convince investors that they're winning, they're going to beat out the competition, and their formula is working and it's better than everybody else. That's how these investor meetings work. So they're trying to get investors to invest more money into their company. And they want to give them confidence, and they want to explain what's going on so that way they can justify the investment. So no surprise that you were a little bit thrown off and confused by what was going on. I have been doing this, covering investor meetings for a few years now, and to be honest with you, I'm sifting through language 90% of the time. When they start talking about like certain terms to describe like profitability and stuff, like I get that, total revenue that they generate and stuff, I get it. But when they start using these abbreviated acronyms, it's jargon for investors. I don't care about that. I actually choose not to allocate that space in my brain to even bother knowing it because I'm not an investor, That's funny. Yeah, you're not a farmer, but you smell it. Yeah, man. And that's okay, bro. It's all right. But hopefully you did get some things, out of that. I did receive a compliment from a viewer. I think it was Gary. He said that, and he complimented me. He said, you did a pretty good job of breaking down everything that was presented because a lot of that, again, is stock jargon. So it's easily confusing to the commoner. It's a lot of extra stuff that you just don't need to know or you're not worried about. So, yeah, no surprises. Anyways, I want to give you guys some dedicated info on AT&T. We did this for Verizon a couple days ago. We did it for T-Mobile yesterday, and we're going to put AT&T through their paces. All right, so let's start first with networking. We're talking about wireless networking. If you have any questions about anything, please do ask in the live chat. I'll try to get to everybody's questions, and maybe we'll look at some comments. So I also have moderators and those that have been in the know and have been following it from, all the videos I've been doing, and, they're as knowledgeable as anyone. Go ahead and ask, and I think my moderators can help you out as well. All right, network-wise, wireless and 5G. That is going to be an emphasis of what everybody wants to know here tonight. So the one thing I will say is it really looks like AT&T is starting to move away from the emphasis of FirstNet. FirstNet has been a huge boom to their networking and getting coverage across the country. What AT&T was able to do when they secured FirstNet is they got a dedicated contract to expand coverage across the country, specifically areas where they didn't have coverage, and then upgrading the coverage in areas where they had it to add capacity. And every time they were climbing and building towers, they were upgrading to the latest and greatest technology, adding carriers, adding capacity, improving, the signal propagation and the transmission, getting you a better signal, getting you faster speeds. The FirstNet contract was really big for AT&T. It really made their network different. I feel like it was probably the most important thing that happened to their wireless network. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe T-Mobile passes them in network coverage. Maybe, So that's how big of a deal I think the FirstNet contract was. So band 14, 700 megahertz, you're getting, the same, 10 megahertz nationwide. It's low band, it's high powered, it's designed for first responders and government agencies. It's a legit connection, coverage everywhere. It looks like they're going to start to scale that back. The FirstNet money is starting to run dry, so they're going to have to start looking at, dedicated builds that will not be, arbitrarily subsidized from FirstNet. So it's going to be completely on them to stay on the same tower. Don't move after completing a full call. They did talk about 5G C-band. All right, we got to start here. The C-band is the topic of conversation amongst 5G network tech enthusiasts. If you listened to the T-Mobile call yesterday, the investor meeting, and Verizon the day before, the C-band is a big piece of 5G networking. It is by far the most important thing for AT&T when it comes to the capacity in the future. It's the same case for Verizon. T-Mobile's a little different because their focus is N41. But this N77, the C-band, the 3.7 gigahertz, is going to be the true capacity layer for AT&T. The first thing I want to let you guys know is AT&T is dedicating $6 to $8 billion in capital investment just for C-band. Verizon is dedicating $10 billion for a similar build. Now, Verizon's channels are going to be wider. They're going to want to do more capacity, so they bought more licensing. But they're going to be building out the same networking strategy when it comes to C-band. It's going to require a true mid-band, tower grid footprint. AT&T feels pretty confident that they can achieve a tight grid. But they did say that they will be dedicating money specifically for it. The B stands for LTE, right? So you know your phone's got LTE and your phone's got 5G. The N stands for 5G. Michael, appreciate you, man. Glad you're asking those questions, man. Yeah, the B for band 14 would be, LTE band 14. And then if it was N14, it would be 5G band 14. All right. Dedicated $68 billion. Most of that is going to be allocated in spending between 2022 and 2024. That's a 3-year span. So, you're looking at about $2.5 billion, $3 billion. Just depends on the year. They're spending a little bit lower than Verizon's, and their pace a little bit slower than Verizon's. But you got to keep in mind, AT&T doesn't appear to be in the business of winning 5G. This is something that I actually can appreciate about AT&T. They're not trying to outdo anyone like Verizon or T-Mobile. I get the impression that AT&T just wants to compete and be one of the best. They don't want to be last, obviously, but they'd like to be number 2 and number 1. Okay, so AT&T, obviously, nobody wants to be last. They got 80 megahertz of C-band for depth. The first 40 megahertz will be available by the end of 2021, and then that'll be active. They could start deploying and they could start transmitting. In terms of their spectrum position, AT&T disclosed that they have deployed 70% of their sub-6 gigahertz spectrum that they own. So nationally, it looks like they've got most of their spectrum out there. That bodes well for the capacity of their network for their customers. So if you're a T-Mobile customer, if you're an AT&T customer, you're seeing wider channels, you're seeing more capacity and more speed, which means less congestion. AT&T serving their customers. Appreciate that, Michael Pepper Tech. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad to have you supporting the channel and being a viewer and a subscriber. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. In terms of the focus, especially with C-band, obviously they're going to be focusing on top 50 markets. So if you're in an AT&T market where they have a very strong market share, you'll continue to see capacity upgrades. You'll continue to see the improvements to the network. You'll get the C-band upgrades very soon, very early. And wherever they have that market share, that's going to be their focus. Big Lou dog and Sprint, man. All right. Millimeter wave from AT&T. They said they're going to continue to deploy. They will continue to build out millimeter wave nodes. They really want to compete in mobility, right? They said as much. Mid-band, actually, this is kind of interesting. Listen to the terminology from the networking executives at AT&T. They said that mid-band is the premium mobility product. That's interesting. Verizon is going to be charging for their premium mid-band product, right? Here's AT&T saying we're basically going to be doing the same. So it looks like to me, with Verizon forcing people onto their premium plans to get the 5G, the ultra-wideband, the fast stuff like mid-band and millimeter wave, it looks like AT&T is going to do the same. So if you're on the starter or entry-level plans, right, the basic plans, it looks like you're going to be stuck with that low-band 5G. AT&T also not a big fan of fixed wireless. Okay, so this makes sense. They said mid-band is premium mobility, not for fixed. So you guys are not going to see AT&T decide one day they're going to wake up and decide, okay, we're just going to start doing a fixed home wireless. We'll send you a gateway to your house. You'll be connecting to our cell phone towers, and you'll be getting home internet this way. Yeah, Big Lou, what up, homie? Adam, I don't blame you. I'm sure you were a little disappointed. You were probably looking for some extra, so I don't blame you. What you're seeing with AT&T deciding, or saying, I should say saying, they've already decided, saying that they're not into fixed wireless. They're telling you they're only concerned about their fiber. They're basically saying, hey, we're all in on fiber. This is all we care about. We want to deploy this quickly. We want to do traditional home broadband. It's a better product. It works for us. It works for our customers. And this is what we're going to do. And I'll be honest with you guys. AT&T's fiber is a highly rated when it comes to customer satisfaction. People that have AT&T and fiber, they really like it. Keon, good to see you, bro. Hey, and Big Lou, thanks for being here live, man. We appreciate you. Ethan says fixed wireless cuts into their fiber marketing. Of course. And that's what I think they're trying to stay away from. Hayden, good to see you, man. They mentioned the term hybrid, fixed, and mobility. And here's what I think they're doing. I think they are going to do fixed wireless very situationally, like here and there. They're never going to try to penetrate markets with marketing campaigns and aggressive promotion, and they're not going to go gung-ho into small cities and markets saying, we got fixed wireless, coming by. It's never going to be the case. It's going to be situational where tower sites have the extra capacity and they don't want to roll the fiber there. You know what I mean? So they don't want to take the fiber to the house or to the neighborhood or, to the farm or whatever. They don't like the idea of fixed wireless. And they cited the capacity layer. It needs a lot of capacity. So the limitations in the spectrum assets, which is kind of true. I get it. They did say that only fiber can address America's broadband data hunger. So take it with a grain of salt. AT&T is basically saying, we can't properly allocate enough spectrum to fixed wireless to really make it a difference maker. Americans need fiber. We're using more uplink than ever. We can't really achieve that uplink on wireless spectrum. We're going to do it through dedicated fiber wherever we can. So when it comes to the C-band, expect it nationwide by 2024. Expect an average of 80 megahertz in depth. That should be good enough for over a gig speed. 80 megahertz should get them to gigabit speed. Hey, Jose. Midband on the C-band should offer good capacity and mobility. They say they want to do 75 million pops, points of presence, locations where it's available. They want 75 million pops by the end of 2022. Call that point of presence. They want to do 100 million pops by 2023. And I think they want to cover up basically the rest of America probably by 2025. For those of you that are concerned about C-band and you're on AT&T, is your phone compatible with C-band for AT&T? If you have an iPhone 12 model, so an iPhone 12 mini, regular 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, you have C-band. If you have a Samsung Galaxy S20 line phone, I think you do have C-band, possibly with an update. Don't quote me, but I think that might be the case. The S21 and newer will have it. So if you got the S21, S21 Plus, the Ultra, you're covered. The Note will come out in the fall probably. All these Z Flips and all this other stuff, I think they'll be covered too. Oh, also, for anybody out there that has the Netgear Nighthawk 5G hotspot, that is C-band compatible as well. So good for you. What's up, Joshua? There's a lot of people that probably spent like $500 on that Netgear Nighthawk. So, it's good to see it covered. Kind of glad. Here's some disappointing news, and I didn't even know this was a thing. The AT&T Pixel 5, I didn't even know there was an AT&T model, honestly. That's not going to support C-band. What the heck is that about? I didn't even know that they had a Pixel at AT&T. I thought they stayed away from that phone. I know it has band 14, and I know that the Pixel 5 will be supported for C-band on Verizon and T-Mobile, I think. I have no idea why it's not supported on AT&T. That's crazy talk. Big shout out to Moose. Appreciate the donation, brother. Would AT&T's position change on fixed wireless if they got more C-band, or did they never want that much? Maybe they only wanted 100 megahertz. Okay, Moose. So here's what I believe, how I think it played out. AT&T was not really in a position to need more than 80 to 100 megahertz in any particular market. What they currently have is very nice. Before C-band, they had 170 megahertz national of sub-6. They felt good about that. in today's climate, they feel good about it. They've got 5 carrier, 7 carrier aggregation. I think their LTE network has always been very, very good since they started innovating and renovating with these one-touch upgrades and this incredible backhaul commitment. They must feel very good about that. And since they don't want to do fixed wireless, they didn't want to kill themselves against Verizon. It didn't make sense. It really didn't. Right? So I'm kind of with you there. I think they only wanted 80 or 100 megahertz. They just didn't need it. They weren't going to go in on fixed wireless. Now, if they decided they wanted to go all in on fixed wireless, maybe they would have competed more fiercely in the auction for more spectrum, but it just wasn't a thing. And their fiber is working for them. It's a core element of their business. I don't think the deeper spectrum assets really mattered all that much. They just didn't need it. Ron, good to see you, man. Nicholas, appreciate the donation, man. Thank you for the super chat. Just wanted to send love from Toledo. Keep up the best channel, Sneed. Thank you, man. Thank you for that. If you think I'm the best channel, I take that as a huge compliment. Thank you. I just want to be a good channel. That's all I want to do. So thank you for that. Thanks for those kind words and support, Nick. Big shout out to the Toledo, man. Big shout out to the T. Josh says the unlocked Nighthawk is going for $700. Sheesh. Must be a pretty good piece of hardware. All right, so AT&T disclosed that they believe that 70% of their current customers have C-band devices on the network right now. So that's good. They have been really, really aggressive in promotions, getting people in the new iPhones. People want iPhones. People like iPhones, and they've got C-band, and it's a future-proof phone. The RF is great. The reception, the call quality. This is, in my opinion, the best iPhone ever. Just my opinion. I like the design. I like the performance. The cellular has been awesome. They fixed a lot of the troubles that have haunted, iPhones with cellular for a long time. Tone Loke says, I have the S20 Ultra. I think it does. When I bought it, I asked. Okay, I think it does too. I think the hardware is there. I think you just have to wait for an update. Whenever the C-band becomes live, you'll probably see it in a monthly security patch or something like that from your carrier, or for Samsung. Let's see here. In terms of the C-band adoption, really it's going to be about customers having the phones. So it looks like AT&T is doing a good job of addressing that. And, they're also building out the network to go with it. So once they start building out C-band networking, those phones will be able to pick it up. Life is good in instant capacity. All right. So here is some goals with the business. Goal number 1 for AT&T. Growing our customer relationships. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get their customers in as many aspects of their business as possible. So they've got 3 main core parts of their business. What's up, Blaze? AT&T has mobility, which is their wireless. They have fiber, which is their home internet. And then it's their media, which is their TV offerings. The HBO Max really is their focus. They want their customers in as many of those 3 as possible. So if they got you on mobility, they want to get you also on fiber. Or if they got you on fiber, they want to get you on mobility. And then if they get you in either of those 2, they'd like to get you with the HBO Max. In fact, they throw it in. And then they try to premium upsell you to something higher and include that as the bonus, right, as the extra. They sweeten the pot. Big shout out to Joshua. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Much respect to the Majestic Goat. Thank you, man. I appreciate the kind words and the donation. Hey, man, in these times, you're definitely not required to donate. You guys have always been so generous and supportive, so thank you. So they want to do what's called deepen the relationship, deepen the consumer connection by getting you in more of their services. Now, what this does is it increases the likelihood of your loyalty. So here's what I mean. If Joshua, for example, has AT&T wireless, the mobility, and they say to Joshua, hey, we're getting fiber in your area. It normally sells for $70. You are a customer of ours in wireless. We're going to give you $20 off of your wireless bill if you bundle it with the AT&T home fiber. Josh looks at that and says, great, I'll take it. I'm going to get dedicated fiber. I'm going to get, 500 megabits per second down. I'm going to get the symmetrical uplink. I'm going to get a dependable product. Fiber is great, low latency, high speeds, uplink, downlink. It's great. He gets the discount on the mobility. Boom, that's a win. And maybe the other pieces, now we got to get Joshua out of the entry-level unlimited, and now we want to get him in the premium unlimited, on the extra, on the elite. We upsell him, and then we get him on the next product, which is HBO Max. So now they got you in all these which-a-ways, but you're happy because you are getting all those services and value. See, because truth be told, AT&T's fiber is good. HBO Max is a very good platform for content, and their wireless network is really good. So me personally, I think it's an incredible way to get put into an ecosystem of solid products. That's just how I see it. So them trying to put you into this ecosystem and get you spending money with them, it's not bad. They're giving you good products. The only time the consumer loses is when they don't get what they pay for, or they don't feel satisfied. You know what I mean? That's really the trouble. The trouble is when you pay $100 for something and you don't feel like you got $100 worth of value, right? So, let's say you go to the department store, you go to Macy's, and, you buy a necktie, for your next luncheon at work, and you want to have a good tie. You can buy any type of tie. There's all types of brands. But you want a Calvin Klein. You want a Ralph Lauren. So you pay it because you have faith that you're getting what you're paying for. You know what I mean? Blaze with the super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. He said, I only donate to real content creators. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. And I appreciate you donating and supporting the channel. Thank you. Nick says, I get $10 off for working at Verizon with AT&T. What? It's true, Josh. Those promotions get you to save money. You're likely to accept the deals, right? SMT will be upgrading to AT&T fiber this summer. Moose, thank you for the super chat. And that is 100% fact. I will be upgrading to AT&T fiber immediately upon its availability at my residence. Immediately. Like the moment I see them out there, I'll be knocking at the door, man. So here's the thing, Adam, and I do appreciate the super chat. Adam says, I feel like AT&T is not fighting hard enough for us as consumers. Why not expand the millimeter wave? Why not have fiber in rural areas? Okay, Adam, here's the thing. What you're saying, there's nothing wrong with. I'm with you. AT&T traditionally has not fought for customers. They are not. AT&T traditionally was the anti-T-Mobile. They're 100% opposite. They've gotten better, but they're still not there when it comes to consumers. And here's why. Not the millimeter wave piece, but the fiber in rural areas doesn't make economic sense. It's expensive to roll and deploy the fiber. The return of investment has to be substantial. They have to do the math, the calculations. Is it worth it for us to deploy the fiber here? If they don't see it's going to pay out for 30, 40 years, they may not do it. They want that return of investment very quickly. If they see the potential in an area, they'll do it. Business fiber, home fiber, stuff like that. They're wireless, if it helps them in that way. If they see all those things, then yeah, they're inclined to do it. But they just might not be compelled to do it in certain areas. Unfortunately, that's the truth. No company would, I don't think. Unless they were incentivized by the FCC or the federal government with some kind of a program to want to do it. Kind of how I see it. As for the millimeter wave, I think we can all speak to this. We love the concept of gigabit speed more abundantly through millimeter wave, but it's a time-consuming thing. They are going to deploy more millimeter wave, but unfortunately, it's not their primary focus. It's more of a secondary focus. See, that's the thing. Like, for Verizon, it's been such a big thing about what they want to do because it allowed them to work ahead and build out some 5G while they awaited for C-band. So they built out, and it's helped them a little bit. It has not been a game changer for them because of the scale. It's going to take time. By 2025, the conversation we have about Verizon's ultra-wideband, I mean, it's going to be incredible. It'll probably be 50% complete, within just 5 years of deployment. So that'll be impressive in and of itself. Where will AT&T be? Probably not even close. They have other projects. They've got FirstNet. They've got, LTE upgrades. They've got, fiber installations. They're a big company. I'm surprised they even have done as much as they have, honestly. But, I would like to see those upgrades as well. Adam also said, I think AT&T is going to fall behind the competition. As long as they stay close, it really doesn't matter. See, here's the thing. I've said time and time again, I think in wireless telecom, there's nothing to win, right? I don't think anyone can actually win 5G. I think in all aspects of the business, you have to compete. I've always looked at T-Mobile as the ultimate competitor, scrappy, scraping, fighting, competing for your business, for your dollars. And I think previously AT&T did not. They just didn't, and now they do a little bit. So I think what the carriers need to do and what they want to do is just compete in all aspects of the business and make their product and their services good enough to earn your money and your considerations for your money, right? So respect the comments, and I respect the, your perspective most definitely. But I hope they don't fall behind. I really don't. I like to see them compete. Chucky, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the super chat. And I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Thank you. Kazi, thank you, man. Kazi, thank you for all that you do, man. As a moderator, as a supporter, all the Periscope sessions and stuff, all the live streams, you're always there. Thanks for everything, man. And thank you for that donation. Lavendi says, my fiber AT&T ping doubled this week to 22 milliseconds. Unacceptable. I wonder if there was an issue in your market. Were you able to call in and check? Is that something that typically happens? Because the way I look at fiber is it most fiber like sub 5 millisecond ping? Like some people show me like 0 and 1 millisecond, so I don't know. I guess it depends how close you are to the actual fiber on your street. Maybe they're doing some repairs or maintenance or something. Who knows? I'd call and figure it out, though. Ethan, thanks for the super chat, buddy. As much as I love my fiber and wireless through AT&T, the user experience online is significantly better with my Verizon account, TBH. Okay, so Ethan, is it the app? Is it the customer care? Is it the layout? Is it the ease in which you can navigate and make account settings changes and stuff like that? Because I have Verizon, obviously, and I navigate all settings and account accesses, and I love the app. I think it's great. The AT&T, I guess the Premier used to be the Move, and that's been modified, and you can't access it the same way. So, maybe that's what the situation is. Hopefully there's some good upgrades coming, for some of these websites. I know the AT&T one leaves a lot to be desired. Some people say they don't like the T-Mobile one. To me, they're okay. The T-Mobile one's fine. I don't really have trouble with it. I don't like the way the chat app is set up, but it's fine. I do like the Verizon website. It used to be terrible. I like it a lot more now. It seems like Verizon's doing a good job of continuously improving the website. So it got incrementally better, and I think now this is kind of the best version of the app they've had. Big shout out to Ethan. Thanks for the super chat. When AT&T refarms 3G and LTE for 5G, will it help them? It will, because they have some nice sized chunks of spectrum there. So Kazi, yeah, your LTE will pick up in speed, most definitely. Keon, what's up, bro? He said, to me it looks like AT&T is just good enough, and that's bad. Yeah, I mean, Keon, you're kind of like me in a way. You like to see the strive for excellence, so I get it. You know, you should always strive to be the best, right? The best version of yourself, the best version of your company, the best, to offer any products. I think the company is so big, they're just realistic. Yeah, they just don't want to fall behind. They want to always compete. Aiden, just read that Verizon 5G home internet is available in parts of Cleveland. What? Really? Okay, Aiden, I'm going to look into that. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. Next one is from Moose. AT&T did say in the call that the FCC might be putting in some money for additional fiber, the expansion in rural and urban. Maybe that's why it's priority. So you follow the money. If the FCC says, okay, AT&T, we're going to give you such and such tax breaks or credits if you build out fiber or at any of these particular places. See, now we're talking. I think AT&T will be willing to respond to that. So, Moose, we'll be tracking that most definitely. That would be great. Big shout out to Adam. It's like 3G all over again. Yeah, man. And big shout out to Gene. Thank you for the super chat and the comment. Great videos and live streams. Thank you, man. Key comes in. To me, it looks like AT&T is just good enough, and that's... Oh, did I already get to that, or did he repeat it? Okay. All right, I think we're good. Okay. All right, I think we're good. I think we're caught up. First net money runs out, AT&T will be going back to their old ways. Maybe. I hope not. I hope they don't go back to their old ways. I'd like to see that change for the permanent. We don't want to see, be in temporary. But we'll see. It's something we'll monitor. So the deeper relationships, the driving of the loyalty, I don't know. It looks like they're trying to hedge losses. They want to make sure that they tie up people, getting them in multiple business segments. So the wireless, the mobility, the TV, the HBO Max, the fiber, they want to get them in the whole shebang. I actually want to talk about the fiber a little bit. You guys kind of alluded to it somewhat. They're really pushing fiber. They're downplaying mid-band and fixed wireless solutions. So fiber is going to be their answer to everything. For fiber, they said they want 3 million new fiber locations across 90 metro markets. They said that they want to outcompete all competitors in terms of scale. They want 10% higher market share than anyone, and they want a lot of growth in fiber. So what do you guys think about that? How do you think that's the right move? Do you think AT&T focusing on fiber is better than any other version of AT&T? In my opinion, the fiber is a winner. The product has a high satisfaction rating. It's fast. People love it. They make money. It's profitable. I'd like to see more of it, obviously, deploy to a grander scale. But, that is the emphasis of their business for home internet and business, right? Business internet. They want a lot of growth in fiber. They are expanding it. So be on the lookout. It might come to you. Uplink capacity is an ongoing trouble area. They spoke to the situation currently with the pandemic. Not enough capacity through fixed wireless. Not enough capacity to use, mobility networking for home wireless. But, I don't know. They're still going to offer it. That's the funny thing. They downplayed fixed wireless, but they're still going to sell it. Now, it's not going to scale. They're not going to do what Verizon is doing, offer it to 30 million homes. They're not going to do what T-Mobile is doing it, offer it to 15 or 30 million homes, right? Their focus is going to be, the fiber. So I don't know. They'll continue to bolster the network. They mentioned that they want to continue to improve uplink capacity. It's been an area with the pandemic, and it's going to be a focus. Kian, I don't know. He says, why not use fixed mobility to see where the people that want internet access are at? I don't know. I'm sure they did their studies, but they probably did, cost analysis. The way I look at T-Mobile and their fixed wireless is T-Mobile's thinking, where are the areas where we have excess capacity where we can just resell our mobile network, right? Okay, well, this site's going to have all this speed. We might as well turn into extra lines of access and charge people $60 for it or whatever. So it's just extra money. It's icing on the cake. So they're all about wireless. They still want to win there. They still want to compete. They're not really about fixed wireless. The home broadband, they want to focus on fiber. It's going to be very situational for them with the fixed wireless. There's just not enough capacity. So that'll kind of close that off. The last thing they talked about was HBO Max. Let's go ahead and put a bow on the show talking about the media. HBO Max is a very successful business segment for AT&T. In my opinion, it is a very good product. The app, the layout, the colors, it's aesthetically pleasing. It's got good content. I like HBO Max. My wife loves it. There's all types of shows. There's all types of different content. Stuff that I used to watch when I was younger. Stuff that I watch today. The HBO Max is a good product. I probably like it better than basically every other streaming service. I might like Disney Plus a little bit better than HBO Max, maybe. But it's close. HBO Max wants to be, AT&T wants HBO Max to have 120 to 150 million subscribers by 2025. That is a lofty goal. You might say, how the heck are they going to do that? There's only 335 million people in the U.S. Well, by 2025, they're going to be launched completely global. They'll be international. They'll be available in all continents. North America, South America, Europe, Asia. I'm not sure about Africa. I don't know if that's like a market that they'll look into. I have no idea. But it looks like they want to hit all continents. So previously, and this is where things get good. A couple of years ago or a year ago, if you were to ask, AT&T, where do you want HBO Max to be? They were saying 75 to 90 million by 2025. They just boosted the guidance. They want to be at 120 to 150. They have completely overachieved in HBO Max. Big time. To show you the success it's having. In 2021, they're going to launch 60 new international markets for HBO Max. 39 in Latin American territories. So they're going to aggressively move to South America and Latin America. And that's going to be, I think, 39 out of the 60 new international markets. And then I think from there, they're going to Europe and Asia. And Asia is going to be huge. That's a big-time market if they can find success there. They said expect 67 to 70 million customers on HBO Max by the end of the year. That'll be a worldwide calculation. They have 61 to 62 million right now. Wow. That really caught on quick. HBO Max is a fan favorite. People love HBO Max. So here's what AT&T found out. AT&T found out that when customers try HBO Max, they keep it. That is a retention metric. That's the most important thing for business. You can have an incredible product, but if people don't stick with it or continue to purchase it or use it, they're just going to churn. HBO Max is a 100% recommendation from the SMT. Big Moose, thank you for the super chat, bro. Does HBO Max get an official SMT recommendation? 100%. The best way to actually get HBO Max is to get AT&T's mobility service or to get their home broadband, their fiber, because it gets included in these plans. If you want a really, really nice wireless plan, I think the AT&T Elite, if you can do like a family account, multiple line discounts, it's a great deal with an incredible access plan. Honestly, the Magenta Max from T-Mobile and the AT&T Elite are the two best plans in wireless. Verizon doesn't really offer anything like that. HBO Max is SMT approved. Therefore, as a add-on, as a perk thrown into the higher end plans, the premium unlimited plans, it's just a win-win situation. And, you know, Gene mentions HBO Max included for 3 months with AT&T TV. And then once you get used to that, AT&T TV having HBO Max, you're going to want to keep it. You know, I'm telling you, HBO Max is SMT approved. The AT&T Elite plan is SMT approved. I have a Magenta business line, a Verizon consumer line, and I have an AT&T Business Elite line. It is by far my favorite line of access. It offers the most accessible capacity. My speeds on T-Mobile N41 are incredibly fast. My speeds on Verizon's ultra wideband are incredibly fast. The CBRS is incredible. But when I run a speed test, I'm stuck getting 2 megabits per second on my Magenta plan. I'm stuck getting 10 megabits per second on my Verizon plan. I don't have any resolution restrictions on my AT&T plan. They don't throttle anything. They don't throttle my hotspot. They don't throttle my on-device data. They don't throttle my video resolution playback. Let it rip. Seriously. The AT&T Elite is like, it is like a true unlimited plan. It feels like a real unlimited plan. I don't worry about going over. I don't get deprioed. None of that stuff. None of it. Caleb, come on, man. HBO, man. Oh, my God. I never used to watch HBO until I got the HBO Max. Now I love it. You know, that product is good. Oh, dang, Big Lou. You had AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Hey, Big Lou, I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. Maybe you could share some of your experiences on that. Hey, Caleb, thanks for the super chat, by the way. Thank you so much, man. Yep. All right, guys. My final impressions from the AT&T Investor and Analyst Day. It was a very AT&T type of presentation. And I'm not surprised by anything. The only thing that I'm somewhat surprised about was I really thought they would have done something with fixed wireless. I guess not. I guess they just wanted to get enough to make sure they took care of mobility. But, you know, hey, I did expect them to discuss fiber. I did expect them to say it was a focus area for them. I'm glad to see we got a little insight on the C-band. They'll be building out at a pace similar to Verizon's, but Verizon's going to work a little bit faster, and they're going to try to finish a little bit sooner. Will AT&T compete with T-Mobile? Yes. Will AT&T compete with Verizon? Absolutely. I think AT&T's networking team is good. Have faith and have trust that AT&T's network is going to continue to grow, and it's going to get some capacity too. If you like what AT&T is doing now, I think that will continue moving forward. If you don't like what AT&T is doing now, nothing is probably going to change for you. But if AT&T is good where you are, it's probably going to get even better once that capacity is there. If you're in an area that might potentially get the fiber, it's a great product. Look into it. Their plans are good. They're ultra competitive. They're going to aggressively try to get people to, switch to their company. They're going to compete for wireless customers, and they are willing to give their, current customers deals on phones. All is good, all things considered, at AT&T. I know they have debt. I don't care. Contrary to popular belief, if you are a customer of AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon, the debt of those companies does not matter. I really don't understand this, but some people care, apparently. Why do you care about a company's debt? Unless you're an investor. But see, I'm not. I don't invest in AT&T. I don't invest in T-Mobile or Verizon. I don't care if they have $10 trillion in debt. All I care about is their network. All I care about is my plan. All I care about is my account. If my bill goes up, now I care. I don't care about their debt. When T-Mobile got Sprint, they added a bunch of debt to their company. I don't care. When Verizon bought all that C-band, they made a lot of debt to their company. I don't care. When AT&T bought Time Warner, I don't care. Does not matter to me. All I care about is my bill. I want a good quality network connection. I want a high-performing plan. That's all I care about. That does not matter unless you're an investor. And if you're an investor, me and you are on different, we're in different, parts of this thing. You care about that. I don't. But honestly, expect AT&T to be an ultra competitor in mobility, good products. Yeah, that's all I care about. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. Y'all the best, man. I want to let you guys know that for everybody that is a viewer of all my content, my videos, my live streams, my speed tests, the podcast, the whole shebang, thank you for being a part of the SMT Nation. Glad that you are subscribed and you are a member of the nation. If it is your first time here or you've been lurking, consider subscribing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and activate that bell notification icon so you don't miss when I go live or I upload a video. Also, if you like what we're doing here on the channel and you want more access and you want to support the SMT, what you could do is you can make a donation to the SMT Patreon page and get early access perks, exclusive videos and content and live streams and videos just like this by becoming a Patreon supporter. So that helps us both out, obviously. Thank you. Big shout out to Tyler. Welcome to the community. Big shout out to Thomas, Kevin, Dan, to all the February and March additions to the Patreon. Thank you guys and welcome on board. Again, I want to thank everyone for all the donations, all the thumbs up, the likes, the shares, pushing this out on your social media. Thank you for that. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hashtag Mod Squad for all my moderators. Thank you for getting the trolls out of here. Keeping things solid in the chat. Hashtag 2Live Crew if you watch this while we were live streaming. Hashtag Replay Crew if you're watching this on DVR at a later time. Hashtag Ravioli Gang for those of you that are eating dinner or snacking while you're watching and listening to this podcast. Link to the Patreon in the live chat from Kazi. Thank you. And a big shout out to Blaze. He threw in another super chat there at the end. Hit that Kobe buzzer beater, bro. Thanks, man. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the continued support. And I think we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching this edition of the podcast. We hope to see you soon on the next show. We do have a show tomorrow. I will have a couple of guests on. We will have the Mussolini. We will have... I'll try to see if I can get Zero Cool on there. I'll try to get Los Man on there. And Tyrone from Tech Life might stop by. So... hey, hashtag No Trick Ronalds. Absolutely. Yes, that is right. Thank you guys again for supporting. Thanks for all that you do. And we will catch you all on the next one. Peace. And of course, if you are still here, I know why. Yeah!